Okay, I think we're recording. So this is my first call back since having the baby, and honestly, I didn't host one for a while beforehand because we have so many calls with Pivot, and it was just crazy trying to get ready for the baby. So speaking of facing your fears, it's like, even though I've done calls now for like 3 years, I still get nervous. So you can send some love in the chat if you guys have questions or anything as I'm going through this. I'm going to share my screen with you. I made a little presentation. And if you can mute yourself so that we can't hear all the background noise, that would be awesome too.
Oh, sorry.
Just a minute here to share the screen. Hopefully this won't take as long as my audio did. Let's see. Okay, can you guys see that? Yay. Okay, awesome. Hooray. Okay, well, first, before we dive into the meat of the call, oops. Doesn't want to move. Okay, hold on a second. There we go. I want to do a couple shout outs, you guys. First of all, Stephanie, I know you are new to the team, and welcome. You've already changed so many lives last month, and you're already on the board for this month. And I apologize, you guys, if numbers have changed since yesterday. I made this yesterday. So if you have helped people this month and you're not up here, then it's because I made this yesterday. So way to go, Steph. So exciting. Way to start strong, and we are happy to have you to the team. And then I also just wanted to put up here the top PV because, Success Club isn't necessarily everything. And at the end of the day, building a business is all about building volume and having a strong team underneath of you who, you're teaching how to lead and run a business. So congrats, you guys who are on the board. Okay. Tonight, you guys, we're going to talk about fears, and I asked you guys this question a while back. What was one of your biggest fears? And some of you guys responded on our team page, so I wanted to address some of those fears in a team call, since I know so many of us go through different fears, whether you're just starting out your business or whether you've been in this business for a long time. We hit roadblocks, we hit stumbling blocks, and we come across things where we are fearful. Doing new things is always scary. And at the end of the day, I want you guys to think about, what if you broke through that fear? Think about the possibilities of what do you want out of this business? What is your why? Why are you even a coach on this team? Why are you on this call tonight? What do you want out of this? And that why has to be stronger than your fear. Okay? Whatever you're scared of can't be stronger than your why. You have to want it that bad to just kick that fear in the face and go after it. Okay? And that's how you're going to reach your dreams, what you want for yourself, for your family. So I wanted to chat about some of the typical fears that I know so many of us have, whether we're just starting out or even today, if you've been working the business for a while. We all have fears. So inviting is a big fear. And guys, I'm going to just cut it to you straight right now. I was doing the polls on our team page, mostly honestly to give myself accountability, because I knew if I told you guys to go do things, then I would have to do them because I didn't want to look like a slacker for telling you to do it and then me not doing it. So, but at the same time, I was noticing that a lot of the people were doing some of the vital behaviors. A lot of people were pressing play. A lot of people are doing IG stories and doing, some PD, but there was not a lot of inviting going on. And you guys, inviting is key to this business, both in social media and in personal invites. You will not grow your business without inviting people. You cannot have a party with no people. You can get the decorations, you can get the, the food, you can get the clown, whatever, but you cannot have a party without the people there. So you can make your challenge group and you can, have your team page, but if you aren't inviting people to join you, no one's going to come and your business is not going to grow. So this one is key. We have to get over this fear of inviting. And I'll touch more on that as we go through the call. But never having any working coaches, I know that's a fear. That's a fear that I still have as I grow my business. Being annoying and salesy, I know that is something that comes up a lot. Moving backwards when life gets crazy, right? Because something's always popping up. Something is always going, something's always happening and people get busy and tragedies happen and things happen. And some people are scared that they're going to move backwards and then their whole business is going to fall apart if something like that happens. And then there's the fears of failing and the fears of success, which might sound weird, but people do fear success too. And we'll talk more about that as we go through. And you know what? I just did a social media post about how I had all my kids in bed by 8:30 and now I hear the baby screaming. So this will be fun. He might have to make a guest appearance. But anyway, as we're starting out, I wanted to note that comparison is the thief of joy. And I want to put this in here because oftentimes we get scared about things happening because we're comparing ourselves to other people. And I want you guys to stop comparing yourselves to other people right now. This is your journey. You are on this journey. And we are all here to support you. The coaches on this team, on Team Spark, on Team Pivot are here to support you. But I don't want you guys to look at your day one and compare that to someone else's day 365, someone else's, 5 years in the journey. Don't look at a top 10 coach who's been doing this for 5 years and say, oh, I'm never going to get there. That, that doesn't seem attainable to me. I don't have all this time in my day to put in like she does. It doesn't work like that. Most of those coaches who are now doing this full time didn't always do this full time. They maybe had it as a side gig or they were doing it for the discount. I mean, Lewis on our team is one of the best examples we have of someone who literally joined for the discount and she ended up growing her business without even really trying in the beginning. And now she's a 4-star on Team Pivot. So you can't compare where you are now with anyone else's or where anyone else is, because you never know what someone has been through. And another thing, it was so interesting to see, you see pictures of people and their before and afters. And one day someone on our team said, let's post the before, because we were all used to seeing everybody after they've been fit for 2 years on the team and everything like that. And we all posted our before pictures. And it was crazy just to see how much you don't understand the things people have gone through to make changes. So don't compare yourself to anyone else, you guys. Okay. Let's talk about the fear of inviting. Some of the reasons why we're afraid to invite. Maybe you're scared of what people will think. Maybe you are afraid to annoy people. Maybe you aren't getting any responses. And maybe you are not making enough money yet. And so you are scared to invite people to the coaching opportunity because maybe you don't truly believe in it yet. And here's a couple things to do. So first of all, you got to change your mindset. You Are a Badass is one of my favorite books. If you haven't read that yet, pick up some PD and change your mindset. Maybe it's, what's the other one? The Subtle Art of Not Giving Enough. That one is a good one if you're scared about what people will think. And also, don't annoy people. I mean, don't be that cookie cutter sending out, there's a lot of MLMs these days and a lot of people are getting a lot of messages. And, I'm sure that you've had some of the same responses that I've had from people where it's oh, you're the 4th message I've gotten about joining a challenge group, blah, blah, blah. Well, make yours more interesting. Make yours fun. Make yours targeted towards your people. And don't just send the same cookie cutter message to every single person. Make some connections, get to know who you're talking to, and show them that you're not just there to make a quick buck, but that you really actually want to help them and get to know them. Also, it's really important to not just do sweaty selfies and Shakeology posts and super duper sales on your social media. Like, that's number one annoying. So make sure that you're doing quality quality social media posts, you guys. So you're telling your why. Why are you drinking Shakeology? Why is it giving you more energy each day? What do you need the energy for? What are you, maybe tell your story about how, what's different about you being a challenger versus you being a coach? How has your life changed? And then talk about other things that don't even have to do with Beachbody, other things that you enjoy. For me, my people like my outfit posts when I do outfit posts, or fashion stuff, or, try-ons, things like that. Or my kids, it's like a lot of like boy mom life and, needing a glass of wine and whatever it happens to be. But talk about those other things in your life, and get a little deep with people. Really share what's going on. I've been sharing right now. Think about what season of life you're in, whether you just got married or you just had a baby or you are moving into your first home together or whatever it happens to be. Right now, I'm in the postpartum season with 2 other kids. And so I talk about that a lot, and so many other postpartum moms can relate to what I'm going through and the emotions and the hormones and all of the crazy that goes along with that. So talking about those kinds of things are ways to not annoy people. Reach out to somebody who's going through something similar to you and just have a genuine conversation with them, and don't even talk to them about Beachbody. For the no responses, we, like I said before, we got to up our invites. I'm not seeing a lot of inviting going on, and again, no one's going to come to the party if you're not inviting. And you can say, well, no one's responding, so I'm not going to invite. But if you don't invite, you're not going to get a response either. So I would say 10x your invites, bump that up, and try to make more connections with people, because that's the only way you're going to get people to join your groups and to find people to help. I get told no all the freaking time, you guys. I get ignored all the freaking time. If I stopped coaching or stopped inviting because people told me no, then I would have stopped a long time ago, because a lot of people had told me no and have ignored me. So, even like looking right here on this call, Megan Duck, I know she is a great example of that, where I had invited her so long ago, and she, I don't even remember if she responded or not, to be honest. But it was definitely like a no, not right now, at least kind of thing. And then it was like 2 years later, she saw one of my posts. I didn't even know she was still following me or anything like that. Hadn't seen each other since college. And she was like, I'm in, I want to take the leap. I want to dare to dream. Let's do this. And I'm like, wait, what? So you never know who's watching you. And it's all about these little invites where you're inviting people. They are planting seeds. So even if they're not ready right now, because it's all about the timing, you guys. Even though people aren't ready right now, it doesn't mean they're not going to be ready later. They could be in a different season of life now. Maybe they're, still going out on Friday nights and partying, and they're not ready to hone in their diet. But maybe 2 years later, after they're married and they have a baby and they want to lose the baby weight, then they're ready. You just never know what people are going through. If they're going through tough times, it just might be bad timing when you reach out to them. So make sure you're following up, and make sure that you aren't, crossing people off your list because they're not ready right now. And then the last part of this is, when you're first starting out as a coach, it's hard to, talk about income because you're not really making that much right now. But talk about your vision. Talk about where you want to go. Talk about other people's success. I used to talk about Marion a lot and how she was able to leave her child psychology job. I talked about Lil a lot and how she was able to, buy her dream lake house because of this business and leave her nursing job to be with her kids. And so it's just talking about where you want to go, because you're never going to be like where you want to be. You're always going to try to grow and do better. So, but talk about where the train is going and make people excited about wanting to join you. Like, no one's going to want to join you if you're like, yay, huh? You know, if you're not that excited about it, like you want to pump up your team, and it's a little bit of like fake it till you make it, right? Like making it sound like you have this, you know, that it's a super exciting team, and we do. And we have such the support group, which is amazing. So talk about that, talk about what you want to do, and talk about the little things too of how Beachbody has changed your life in the smaller ways too. And maybe it's not, you know, maybe it's not you're buying your dream home, but maybe it's like you paid for diapers that week, or maybe it's that you paid for a date night babysitter, or something like that, you know. Or maybe it's just that you paid off your Shakeology that month and you're paying for your health and fitness. Okay. The next fear is fear of never having any working coaches. Everyone's saying no. You're getting crickets on your posts, and people don't realize how hard it is. Again, change your mindset. You have to be in a positive headspace, you guys, and you have to read PD at least 10 minutes a day. We already touched on some of these things, that no doesn't always mean no, but it's also about expanding your network, because at the end of the day, after you've maxed out your Facebook friends and family members, you have to grow your network in order to get in front of more people. So you have to be adding friends on Facebook. You have to be expanding your Instagram is hot right now. That's where I'm focusing most of my attention on expanding. And I forget who it was. I think someone did a social media call recently on Instagram. I think it was Amy Meeks did an Instagram call about how to expand and do things over there. So check that out on the Pivot page if you haven't watched that video yet. But expanding your network is so key, you guys. And then it's also about showing people that this is hard work right up front. And showing them that like this is not like just like, you know, the 21-day fix isn't a quick fix. We all know with our health and fitness journey, like it takes time to build results. Well, as an entrepreneur, it also takes time to build a business. Like most people don't just, you know, most people are putting money into business before they even make anything. We don't put that much into it, but it does take a while to build a true business. So showing people that it is hard work will attract people that actually want to work. You don't want a bunch of people who think this is easy, because it's not easy. It's fun, and it's not like brain surgery or anything, but it is work, and it does take time, and it does take persistence and effort. And honestly, it's just not giving up and going despite all of, you know, the obstacles that you may face. So showing people on your social media that like, yes, this is hard work, but yes, we do it because blah, blah, blah. That is so important, because you want to attract those people who do want to work and build business. Having a team of only discount coaches, it's a good start, but it's not going to build your income. If you want to build a 6-figure business, then you're going to have to grow your team. You're going to have to find people who want it just as bad as you do. So you have to show them that passion and show them that this is hard work and that it does take time, but that there really is no limit to their success, because it's all based on what you put in. And then showing the coaching side more often on social media, I think, is so important. A lot of times we show that we're doing our workouts. We show that, you know, we're checking in with our challenge groups and things like that. But like showing what you do on a daily basis when it comes to coaching, I think is so important. Just so people know like what, you know, if they want to do this too, like what they're going to actually be doing. It kind of like giving them a sneak peek without having a sneak peek group. Like I like to do this on my stories sometimes and just kind of do like a day in the life of like, this is exactly what I'm doing all day, every day. And people can kind of see, well, this time is dedicated to my kids, and this time is dedicated to my power hour, and this is what I do in a power hour, and this is when I do my workout, and, you know, this is when I spend time checking with my team. And just showing more of that to give people an idea of what it's like to be a coach is going to attract more coach type people to your team. Because if you're on this call right now, you're probably not just a discount coach, or, maybe you want to be a hobby coach, but most of you are probably here because you want to build a business that would, be lucrative. So showing what we do as coaches is important. All right, the next thing is the fear of being annoying or salesy, and we talked about this a little bit. This is just an example of one of my blog posts about fashion. I tend to get a lot of people commenting and liking my posts when I talk about these things. So it's important to mix in things that show who I am as a person other than just a coach, because there's a lot of coaches out there and a lot of them are doing the 21-day fix. But why does somebody want to come back to follow you? What do you have to offer them that's different than somebody else? So, maybe it's something that painful that you went through that you talk about. I talked about miscarriage before, and I had a plethora of women reach out to me, and I had no idea that most of them had even gone through that. And so I was able to connect with so many women that way. Maybe it's food. Maybe food is your passion. Maybe it's, I know Megan really loves animals, so maybe it's, something to do with animals. So again, be interesting, be unique. So many other companies are sending these type of messages. So we have to stand out from the crowd. We have to stand out from all the other annoying messages that people are getting and start sending non-annoying messages, and connecting with people in other ways. Have real conversations, you guys. And also, it's okay if somebody is annoyed by you, then maybe they're like, that's okay. You're not going to be for everyone. Not everyone is going to want to join a challenge group. Not everyone is, postpartum. Not everyone has the same things going on that you do, and that's okay. If they don't want to follow you, they can just hit the unfollow button. But stay true to yourself and don't try to target everyone, because by targeting everyone, then you're really not honing in on anybody. So I find that people are more successful when they target into their niche, which usually ends up being close to who they are. All right, the next fear is moving backwards when life gets crazy. There's a lot of things that come up in life. I just had a baby. I just had some tragic event happen. Something unexpected comes up in life. And people just think like, oh, this is the time. I guess I got to give up. Like, I don't have time for this anymore. Like, and because they're self-sabotaging and giving themselves this fear that they can't be successful. So when things happen in life, I think that it's important to give yourself some grace, right? Like, enjoy the baby snuggles, have the grief that you need to have, get through those tough moments, and ask for help. When I was having my baby, I asked some of my coaches who were in my group to help me out with running the challenge group. You guys, I'm going to be giving birth. Can somebody help me out? Or, I leaned on Gretchen a lot during that time with running different coach groups or running, other things. I wasn't creating as many graphics. I was relying on some of the other team members to help out. Hiring babysitters sometimes, because for me, I love being a mom and I love having the flexibility to be here for my kids. But I find that when I do have time to take a break, to work my business, I'm actually happier than when I come back to my kids. So for me, I would love to hire some help in January to spend some time, to watch my kids for a little bit so that I can get that break to work and then come back and be mom again, on my own time and on my own flexibility. So, and then just do your best. Going through this season of my life right now, I am not at 150% like maybe I was a year ago. But I'm doing my best. I'm plugging through. I'm trying to hit my bare minimum goals, and I'm still sending out messages every day. I might not be sending 50 messages out a day, but I'm trying to get, 5, 10. I'm trying to get a little bit done every day and then celebrating that. because that's all you can really do is do your best during that time. You can't do everything. So pick, 3 things that are the most important thing to do to drive your business forward. I would say income, IPAs, income producing activities. Those are what are most important when you're in these hard seasons. And then lean into it. Lean into your community, lean into your social media, talk about what you're going through with people, and that's just another way to connect with people. Of course, obviously, you have to, sometimes just take the time to process everything if it's something, tragic or whatever. But lean into the business, lean into, I know so many people who took a step back during these crazy times really regretted it later, and those who really just, reached out to the team for support and leaned into it really were the ones who ended up thriving. Okay. This next fear is probably surprising to see that people fear success, but some people do. They think like, well, what if I do succeed? I like my current job. How will I keep up this momentum? Will people think that I'm greedy if I want to make money? Or some people think they don't deserve success, even if they don't think that, they think that, but deep down when they look at it, they feel unworthy. And if you're feeling like that, I want you to pick up a Brené Brown book because she is the queen of talking about this topic. And then what if I don't have time for the things I enjoy anymore? So people think those things and then they self-sabotage. They're like, well, I'm comfortable in what I'm doing now. Like, it's not, my dream job, but it's okay. I'd be okay with that for the rest of my life. And then they just self-sabotage and they don't try. So what to do is to, first of all, stop procrastinating. I think taking action is the fastest way to break yourself out of that. The more you think about like, oh, I don't have, I'm not, a lot of people think they need to learn before they do. No, you just need to take action. That is the way you're going to actually create success. So also stay positive, surround yourself with positivity, and realize that you are a part of something bigger. This is not just about, getting some people to join your challenge group and making, 25% commission. No, this is something bigger. And all of you guys know this because you're here right now. And you wouldn't be part of this community if it didn't really tug at your heartstrings, because I'm pretty sure each one of you here, your lives have been changed in some way by what we're doing here. That first person who reaches out to you and says, gosh, I lost, 10 pounds in this last challenge. I feel amazing. I have so much energy. My kids are jumping in with my workouts. Thank you. Like, how fucking good does that feel, you guys? It does. And it's just amazing to see what we can do and how many lives that we can change with this opportunity. And, seeing your coaches who are, oh, I sold my first challenge pack, and they're like so amped up. Like, I love hearing that from my new coaches because I can remember that initial excitement, and it was just so fun to be in that early stage. And so seeing my coaches hit those goals in the beginning, like, it's so exciting. Like, we are a part of something bigger that is changing people's lives, both with health, with happiness, with finances, and everything. And just keep that in mind when you worry about, when you're thinking about your fears. And then live in balance and then just enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. Realize that it is a journey. This doesn't happen overnight. And you do have to, balance and keep time for those things that you do enjoy. Like, don't take all the time away from your husband at nighttime because you're trying to build your business all night, because eventually, you're not going to have a good relationship with your husband anymore. So like, make sure that you are carving out those time for the things and the people that you need to have in your life. And then, keeping those business hours, and making sure you're sticking to them too. The next one is fear of failure. So people think, what if this doesn't work? What if no one joins me? What if I don't reach my goals? And kind of like what I have to say to that is, so what? What if no one joins you? What did you lose by trying? You probably lost, at least 5 to 10 pounds on your own personal journey. You probably gained energy. You're probably happier. You're probably reading PD, which you weren't doing before. So who cares if no one joins you? You'll be in the exact same spot that you are now. But what if somebody does? What if you are successful? What if you did take a risk and you knocked it out of the freaking park, right? Isn't that even the potential of that worth it to at least try? So my suggestion is just to take action anyway. And I say to treat yourself as you would your child, because if your child came up to you and they were like, Mommy, I don't want to play basketball because I don't think that I'm any good, so I'm just not going to play. Would you be like, okay, yeah, you're right, you kind of suck. I don't think you should play. No, you would never say that to your kid. You would be like, it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter. Go have fun. You're awesome. You would pump them up. You would be excited for them, and you would encourage them and tell them to try their best and to, take that risk and go after it and have fun. So why do we treat ourselves any differently? Just something to think about, because why would we treat ourselves any differently than we would, tell somebody else? So take risks and get uncomfortable. I know some of the most success that I've had are when I've gone out of my comfort zone, things like going live. I used to hate going live on social media. I still kind of hate it, but like just going live and getting uncomfortable, sharing things that make you vulnerable. Do you guys think I liked posting my like huge ass mommy tummy on Facebook the other day? Like, no. It's uncomfortable. Like, nobody likes to share pictures like that. But I know I've been doing this long enough to know that those are the kinds of things that people need to see to really connect with you and really feel like you're a real person going through something that they're going through. And for me, that's worth it to get over my own ego and my mommy tummy, to help somebody else get through that time and to connect with other women who are going through what I'm going through. So next thing is to trust the process. We all know that, it's like sometimes you think like, gosh, how does this even work? Some of the programs that we do, I think it was like 80-day obsession, a lot of people were doing in like round 1. People are like, this is not working. I don't like this meal plan. I feel like I'm gaining weight this week. Like, what are these gains? Like, I'm trying to, whatever. And then it was like, but keep going. Trust the process. Keep being consistent, doing what you're doing on a daily basis. And I promise at the end of it, you're going to be happy that you did. And people they kept doing round 2, round 3, they stuck with it, and they got incredible results, you guys. And the same is true with your business. If you stay consistent, I know right now you're working and you're working and you're working, you're sending out invites and you're not getting anything. There's no flow coming, and you're like, the money is like trickling in and it's like not that great yet. But I promise if you keep going and you keep going and you're building your team and you are consistent on social media and people understand that like you're still around after a few years and you're still doing this while these other coaches have quit, you are still here. I can't tell you how many people have come to me after being with other coaches. They're like, oh, my coach quit, but they can see that I'm still around. So trust the process and know that if you keep going, there's no way that you can fail. And that said, we are going to come across stumbling blocks where we are failing at certain aspects of things, or we try something and it bombs. Like I just sent out my Clean Week post, you guys, and I got like 1 comment on it, or like 3 people said they were interested. So it's just, that doesn't mean I suck at life and my coaching business is over. It just means that I got to try something new. I got to try something different. What I did didn't work this time. It worked a year ago. It didn't work today. So we got to switch it up, make things interesting, maybe do some more personalized messaging, and figure out a new way to go about it. Fail forward. You took notes here. I haven't even looked at them. I think I got most of it, but so act as if is my next thing. In order to be an elite coach, you have to act like you already are an elite coach. You have to be the person that you want to attract. If you're not sending out your invites, guess what? Your coaches aren't sending out invites either. If you're not pressing play on your workouts, well, then no one else is going to either. To attract those people, you have to act like you are an elite coach. So some of you guys here, some of you have built teams already, and I think that, you know, sometimes we can tend to lean on our upline teams, like, and I'm guilty of this too, and there's on one level that we should use each other for support, but on another level, at some point, you have to break off and do some things on your own. So if you're starting to grow a team, make a team page, make a team name, host a team call, even if it's 2 people, host a new coach call, do those kinds of things and act like, you know what, it doesn't matter if 2 people show up, I'm an elite coach and I am gonna, you know, rock this out. So if you believe in what we're doing and the products and, you know, the programs that we do and what this coaching opportunity can do for you and the potential that we have in this business, then you have to keep the why in your mind, and we have to share that with other people, and we have to walk the walk just as we talk the talk. Okay, I have an assignment for you guys. So I actually have 2 assignments for you guys. Sorry, I'm hard. But okay, so the first is like taking action now. That is the secret. People are like, what is the secret to to, you know, succeeding? Is honestly, it's just taking action on the income producing activities, you guys. It's literally just stop watching. I mean, not that it's a terrible thing to watch YouTube videos and learn and all of that, but like, just dive in, because if you are sitting back waiting to learn everything and wait until you have the perfect images and wait to do all these things, guess what? You're never going to dive in. So just take action now. And I love, like, Megan Fulford, you were one of the first people who were like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to dive in. Uh-oh. Okay. I'm going to wrap this up quick. Give me 2 minutes. Baby's crying, gotta go. Mommy duty calls. But so send out 10 invites. Either, I know it's late where we are, but if it's not today, then tomorrow. And think about number 2, what if your coach was too scared to invite you? Think about what your life would be like right now if nobody invited you this opportunity, and then think about how your life has changed and how Beachbody has changed you. And then create a social media post about it and share it, you know, sometime this week. And then post on the team page so that we can applaud you for taking action on building your business. All right, you guys, I hope that was helpful. I have no idea what anyone said in the chat. Let me see if I can move this over. Let's see. I don't even know how to stop the screen share. 1 second. All right, I'm going to stop the share. Oh my God, there's so much in the chat. I love that you guys chatted. And I'm sorry I didn't read it, but the baby's crying, so I can't read it. So if you had questions that I missed, you guys, I will take any questions on, just put them on the team page and I'll answer the questions there. And I'm really sorry that I got to run because baby calls. Love you guys. Thanks so much for showing up tonight. I really, really, really appreciate it. All of you who came, and let's go rock it out. All right. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.